Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is December 18, 2023, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new visa bulletin that just recently came out for January 2024. If you have watched the previous release on this channel on the December 2024 visa bulletin, you know that there wasn't much good news that came out of the December 2024 visa bulletin, unfortunately. However, in January 2024, we do see some positive movement finally. So let's get straight into it. In this video, I will briefly describe on how to read the visa bulletin, but if you do want to learn a little bit more in detail, then I suggest you check out the video on this channel that is called Easiest Way to Read the Visa Bulletin. So here it is, January 2024 visa bulletin. I do have December 2023. We're going to be comparing between the two. Now, visa bulletin, this is for people that have we're not going to talk about the employment part or the DV lottery part, just the family preference categories. So people who have their I-130s and waiting for their family reunification cases to be completed. That's who the visa bulletin is for. If you're waiting for your immigrant visa to become available, if you're a petitioner or beneficiary, the visa bulletin is for you. So you will find there are two graphs. There's a graph A and there is a graph B. In both of the graphs, there are 5 different categories, which actually it is 4 different categories, F1, and then there's 2 F2 categories, F2A and F2B. Then there's also F3 and F4. And if you need details, if you're wondering which category you belong to, you can either comment underneath this video and ask me a question, and I'll try to get back to it and answer it in one of the live videos that I do on this channel. Or you can find the information right here, right in the visa bulletin, right this section right here, and each one describes F1, unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens. There's F2A, spouses and children of permanent residents, F2B, unmarried sons and daughters, so far so forth. Now, briefly about 2 graphs. There's graph A, final action dates, and there's graph B, dates for filing. Graph B shows you when your NVC portal is going to be opening up so that you can start your documentary qualification process. If you are already documentarily qualified and you're wondering when the immigrant visa is going to be available, or if you want to see the full length as much as possible of it, how long it's going to take waiting for immigrant visa, then you're looking at the graph A, which shows when the priority date becomes current for the actual immigrant visa. So now that you briefly know and understand how to read the visa bulletin, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with graph B because there is nothing that changed on the graph B. So people that are waiting for their NVC portals opening up, unfortunately no news here. So I'm gonna put it like this. This is December 2023 and this is January 2024, and as you can see, I'm switching between the two and it's exactly the same. So absolutely no changes there. So graph A is where the changes are happening. So let me go up now to the graph A. I'm gonna leave it right here and I'll try to come up with this so it's on the same level. Okay, so let's start with the F1. F1, sons and daughters of US citizens who are over 21. Sons and daughters over 21, all right? So F1, as you can see, for December 2023, it was showing January 15. For January 2024, it is still January 15 for China. It is January 15 for India, January 15 for Mexico, May 2001, and Philippines, March 2012. So unfortunately for F1, this is December and this is January. Absolutely no changes, unfortunately, for F1. But when we move on to the F2 now, that's where the big changes are happening. Now F2A is spouses and children under 21. When I say children, it's when USAS, when the Department of State, when they mention children, they mean a person under 21, okay? But F2A, that's spouses and children of permanent residents now. And as you can see, for December 2023, it was showing February 2019 for all chargeability. And January is now November 2019, which means that it did move forward, which is definitely a good thing. We won the movement forward from February to November. That is, let's see, so 2nd month, and then November is wow, it's 11th month. Okay, so 9 months. It moved 9 months, which is fantastic for all chargeability area. For China, it moved 9 months. For India, it moved 9 months. For Mexico, it moved from February to October, so just a little bit less, but it's almost November. So almost 9 months for Mexico as well, which is great because Mexico is one of those chargeability areas where you, at least in my experience looking at it, you know, it's the least movement usually you see for Mexico chargeability area because the immigration numbers are so high. And the same thing for Philippines, but as you can see, it's also November 19, so it did move. So all of the F2A for all of the chargeability areas. And briefly, if you're not familiar with chargeability areas, basically there's 4: China, India, Mexico, Philippines, that are separate. And then the 5th one is everybody else who is not China, India, Mexico, Philippines. So if you are from one of these 4 countries, then that's what you will be looking at. If you're not, then you're looking at all chargeability area. So great news for everyone in F2A category. Huge movement. 9 months in 1 month. Again, you know, it's over a little bit of an overstatement because for the past a long time we didn't see any movement. So overall, it is not moving as fast as we wanted to, but still, it is very refreshing. It is very good to see finally a very, very good jump forward. Okay, so let's move on to the F2B and see if there is any movement for the F2B. This is December 2023 right now that I'm highlighting. So let's switch to January 2024. And as you can see, there is a movement, not anything crazy, not anything significant. We moved from September 2015, September 2015, yep, right here, 22nd September 2015 to 1st October 2015. So 8 days, 9 days. So not a huge movement, but still a movement. It's better than nothing. And it's the same thing for everyone, except getting to the Mexico now. It moved from May 2002, it moved to October and 2003. So that is over a 1 year jump. 1 year, and so let's see, May is 5th month, and October is 10th month. Okay, so 1 year and 5 months forward, Mexico moved. So great news for everyone in Mexico chargeability area. As you can see, from May 2002 to October and 2003 for F2B category. And F2B category is unmarried sons and daughters 21 years of age or older of permanent residence. Okay, all right, so that is very, very good news. Let's move on to the Philippines and see what's going on for Philippines now. Apologies for this, let me pause this for a second. Okay, so Philippines. So let's take a look at the December, and we got October 2011 for Philippines, and then January 2024, same thing. So no movement for Philippines, unfortunately, no movement for Philippines chargeability area for F2B category. All right, let's move on to the F3 now, which is married sons and daughters of US citizens. So F3 for December, it was showing January 09, January 09, January 09, March 98, and June 02. So let's take a look for all chargeability. Looks like there is some movement from January to April. So that's about, April is four months, and January is 1st month. So about 3 months movement for all chargeability, 3 months movement ahead for China. Same positive movement of 3 months for India. For Mexico, there is, looks like, movement from March 98 to September 98, which is, so March is 3rd month, and then September is 9 months. So 6 months movement for Mexico. Awesome. And Philippines, unfortunately, no movements for Philippines for F3. I wonder what's going on for the Philippines chargeability area, but looks like it is the same thing, no movement. All right, let's take a look at the last category here, which is F4. As you can see, for December, it is showing April 2007, and then October 2005 for India. Mexico is September 2000, and then Philippines is August 2002. So let's compare it to, let me mute the sound here. There we go. All right, just a second. All right, so Let's take a look for January now and see if there is any movement for January. And there is for F4, finally. Haven't seen F4 category move in a very, very long time. And if you watch this channel, you know that this is the category that I'm personally waiting for, because I do have an I-130 pending petition. I'm an immigrant myself, and I have a family reunification petition myself, so I can definitely relate to everyone who is waiting. But finally we see some movement from April to May, which is only 1 month, which is not a lot at all, but finally movement for all chargeability, some movement for China, for India from October to November, good stuff. For Mexico, absolutely no movement, unfortunately, from September 2000 to still September 2000, no movement. And then for Philippines, okay, so there is one category that actually moved. Well, there is a couple of categories that moved for Philippines. F2A also moved, but also if you look at it's October 2002, so from August to October to September, so 2 months, Philippines moved for the F4. So that's really it. That's the movement for January 2024 Visa Bulletin. Again, if you have any questions about this, about how to read the Visa Bulletin, or you need to, if you need help reading it, check out the video that is on this channel. It's called The Easiest Way to Read the Visa Bulletin. And if you still have any questions after that, let me know in the comments below, and I will try to address it. So hopefully this was helpful. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.